What if ancient history as we know it comes from a few ancient writers, one of whom might have made it up? Welcome to the chaotic world of early historians. Who were these ancient scribes, shaping how we see the past? The earliest historians weren't academics. They were priests, poets, or political propagandists. Meet Herodotus, a Greek from the 5th century BCE. He wrote the Histories, essentially the original docuseries about Persian invasions. Why both? He loved a good story, and sometimes he loved a wild exaggeration even more. He didn't just say Persians marched into battle. He claimed 2 million soldiers drank rivers dry and blocked out the sun with arrows. He even wrote about flying snakes in Egypt and gold-digging giant ants in India. Historians now, probably not accurate. Yet, amidst the wild tales he included eyewitness interviews, detailed customs, and attempts to understand cultures. He pioneered anthropology. He asked questions, investigated, traveled, gossiped. He tried to explain why things happened, not just what. That made him revolutionary. But he wasn't alone. Across the Mediterranean, Thucydides, a more no-nonsense Greek, thought Herodotus was too extra. He aimed for a serious, fact-based Peloponnesian War account. He stuck to facts, cut myths, and dared to question divine intervention. Bold. Meanwhile in China, Sima Qian, the Han dynasty's grand historian, wrote a 2,000-year history of China with brushes and ink. He delved into the personalities of emperors, rebels, and warriors, not just events. Ancient China's first biographer/podcast host. But Sima Qian's story gets intense. He defended a general who surrendered, enraging the emperor. Sima Qian was given a choice, death or castration. He chose castration to finish his history. That's dedication that would make historians weep. Why remember them and not historians from Mayans, early African kingdoms, or ancient India? It's not about best stories but survivable media and conquerors who preserved it. Greek and Roman texts were copied for centuries by European monks. Chinese dynasties made preservation a government job. Elsewhere, scrolls decayed, libraries burned, languages were lost, or conquerors simply didn't care. Our historical narrative is told mostly through the eyes of old Greek guys and empires who won. It's like all human history was written by a few Reddit users, passionate, detailed, maybe biased. And here's a twist. Sometimes, history survived by sheer luck. One of the oldest copies of Thucydides was found stuffed inside a mummy's wrappings. Ancient recycling at its finest. Or take the Dead Sea Scrolls, hidden in caves for 2,000 years, only to be discovered by a goat herder. Sometimes, the past survives because someone needed a place to stash their lunch. And in China, Sima Qian's work was preserved because later emperors saw its value, but only after he risked his life to finish it. The survival of history is often a story of chance, drama, and a little bit of luck. And here's the kicker. These early historians didn't just document history, they shaped how we interpret it today. Herodotus turned history into storytelling. Thucydides introduced cause and effect. Sima Qian made it personal. Modern historians, still following those blueprints. So, next time you hear someone say, history is written by the victors, just remember, it's also written by whoever had the longest-lasting ink, the best copy editors, and a flair for drama. And maybe, a few exaggerations about how big the Persian army really was, or those stories about flying snakes and giant ants. If you liked this dive into the ancient minds that shaped our modern understanding, hit that like button, subscribe for more history with a twist, check the links below for more videos and keep watching for other videos with some more specifics we didn't have time for. Oh, and if you still believe Herodotus about the flying snakes, we definitely need to talk. And remember, every time you read a history book, you're not just learning about the past. You're hearing the voices of people who survived wars, plagues, emperors' tempers, and the ravages of time. All to tell us their version of the story. Who knows, maybe in 1,000 years someone will be reading your tweets as ancient history. Better make them interesting.